Now, let's head straight to our conversation. The federal government has announced the suspension of duties, tariff, and taxes on some essential food items like rice, wheat, and maize for the next 150 days. This was revealed by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, during a press briefing at the National Press Center in Abuja. This move, according to the federal government, is not only to cushion the effect of hardship being experienced, but to also achieve food security and economic stability in the country. Joining us in the studio is food security expert, African farmer Mogaji. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
We also have via Zoom from Ado-Ekiti, co-founder, Cattle Foods and Agro-Allied Global Concepts Limited and general manager of Crest Agro, Pelumi Aribisala. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And lastly, joining us via Zoom from the United States of America is convener Social Rehabilitation, Grace and Support Initiative, Dr. Oludari Marindoti. Gentlemen, good morning. It's good to have you all join us.
Thank you. Good morning, Parang. Thanks for having me.
All right, let me begin with you, Dr. Marindoti. You have been clamoring that the government begin to import food items, and here we are now. It seems the federal government was paying attention to the things you were saying. How excited are you about this move by the government?
Thank you, Veronica. I was excited until about a few hours ago when I saw an update that said that the tweet was deleted and that the policy is still under review. And, and I'm so thankful, for, TVC and all media platforms for giving me an opportunity to express my views. The guest you have in studio, Mr. Mogaji, I've seen a couple of his videos where he has actually said things that are similar to this in the short term and also provide long-term solutions. So I'm so excited that we're having this, conversation, all of us together on this platform. It is quite disheartening to me, really, because when you think about it, the food in Nigeria is not enough. Unless we want to play God Almighty, whatever solution we are providing, we are not certain that it is going to work. We think it is work, it is well thought out, but there is no certainty. Nothing will promise you tomorrow, today. So we should give those policies that are very lofty, some of which, the guest in the studio, Mr. Ogaji, has been advocating for, we should give them time to materialize. However, we should not starve ourselves through this process. We should allow food to come in. And even the 150-day, assuming this policy actually eventually gets, implemented, this 150-day is not enough. It is too late, and even it is late, maybe not too late, it's never too late, but it is late, and the 150 days is not enough, because what are you telling food importers? You are telling them to import the food, keep it for 150 days, and then when you bring back those humongous punitive, duties, then they can jack up their prices. So you have to allow it to keep on coming in until our food production matches our demand or something like that. You can have a quarterly review, you can have an annual review or whatever, but we cannot say that we want to prevent Nigerians from having food because we want our farmers to be able to sell the food that they are making. I have always said this, food security trumps food production. Yes, Nigeria should be able to produce the food it eats, but Nigeria should eat first so that it can produce food. Like the people are suffering. We have import duty on maize that is making it impossible for people to get feed for chicken to lay eggs that children will eat. We already don't have enough good food demand. Our food demand is piss poor. So, and if we want an economy that is good, we should expect that the purchasing power of the people and the food demand should go up with their income level. So we cannot be pegging this thing to 150 days. We should let food come in. If we have farmers that are making losses, we can support them. The government should protect the consumer and support the producers, not the other way around. So there are so many things that can still be done to bring down the cost of food. Right. In terms of like maybe transportation. We can also give subsidy for diesel for people transporting food and the farmers, and give it in such a way that it's managed by their local government and they can be verified and all those things. These are things that are done all over the world.
Right. So let me bring into the studio to Mogaji, because I know that you've also always been at the forefront of advocating, solutions to this food crisis and all of that. and the federal government has tried to, introduce different measures, including releasing of 42,000 metric tons of assorted food commodities from the National Strategic Reserve, 58,500 MT, 30,000 MT of rice, and that of the milled rice from the Rice Processor Association. So, but all of this, regrettably, they've not actually solved the situation. So do you feel that this latest, developments, from the federal government would definitely address this issue, considering the human factors, which will always, hinder this kind of policy?
Well, I recall on the 23rd of January, I was on this seat saying that the government will have to import grains. And I heard a lot of bashing, no, government will not import, government will not import. And fortunately, government has taken a U-turn. Well, which is what I like about this administration, which is when they see something is not working, they are also not afraid and ashamed to say it's not working, let's change it. Now, this will help, or rather, let me change it. This should help on a short term, and it will. But why I said should is if customs is not pegged, this may be another disaster for local production. Even though the government has mentioned ability and the intention to mop up production, but if custom is not taken care of, lots of things will come. There will be over-importation and co. So government needs to pay attention to that. But it's a step in the right direction. It is coming a little late, but also timely. What this does, the people who have ordered will now onboarding what they've ordered, okay? Also, it helps the government to take care of the reserves, but it needs to be strictly monitored. If not, we will recycle the same mistakes we've been recycling for a long time. But this will help on a short term and help local production to be able to bridge that gap.